Derek, 3 podcasts in 1 month.
I know, chamber chatter. Riley's back in black today. I see.
Right.
Look at you.
Well, you tried to cook us for the board meeting.
Yeah, it was really hot.
Oh,
here.
my
Hey,
goodness.
Aiden, get a zoom in on that hat. Look at Riley's new swag. So we got a little chamber hat. If you're interested, and I'm sure we could probably work out a deal if somebody wants a chamber hat. We'd love for you to represent our brand around town. But thanks to Misco's and Russ over there for hooking us up with some new hats. That's something that we really haven't had. We did some for golf at one time and got some hats. We got the green and we got some ones that are just
Lighter
gray.
Yep.
So
I dig them.
Yep. Riley likes to wear a hat.
I do. I often switch out between our businesses. So if you have a great hat, you should probably let me know. I'll come pick one up.
You make that hat look good.
Thank you.
So yeah, Riley's keeping us busy with little chamber chatter, but it's great to have just a good variety. And we get to talk about pizza today at some point in time. But I bet another group that eats a lot of pizza is one of our sponsors, and that would be UNK Athletes. UNK Athletics is one of our sponsors of Chamber Chatter, and head down to Papa Murphy's and grab some pizza, right? If you're an athlete, and get yourself fed. But thanks to UNK Athletics, and we'll roll their commercial.
We're driven by a common goal. Knowing your success is our success. That's the power of the herd. Learn more at unk.edu.
Well, thanks to Dr. Bauer and UNK Athletics, and good luck to all our Loper athletes this season. I know all the fall sports are gearing up, and we had a super fun ribbon cutting last week. We've got Chris here from Papa Murphy's. Welcome, Chris.
Thank you. It's good to be here. Thank you.
When we were having the ribbon cutting for Papa Murphy's, and I just want to dive right into it. At one point in time, you guys were 3rd in the nation, right?
For that day in sales.
For that day in sales, 3rd in the nation. That's awesome. Did we ever get to number 2 or?
We did. It fades off after that for us because a lot of those other markets have their once they get off work, big, huge evening markets. People are picking up food on their way home from work. So, but during the day, Kearney holds its own.
Good.
So they do well during the day.
Good. Awesome. Yeah, we Chris provided some pizza for our chamber staff at one time, so I brought some pizza home, and it's always good. My wife always loves when I cook, and so that's awesome. So, Chris, tell us a little bit about your background, and then we'll dive into some more Papa Murphy's.
My background, which is a great segue into you taking pizza home, was I've actually done oil field chemicals for a good part of my life, and years ago, probably 12 years ago, I was actually coming in. I'd been away from town for a couple of days, coming into town, and my wife says, "Hey, why don't you stop at Papa Murphy's and pick up some pizza on the way home?" And in my head, I'm like, why am I picking up pizza that I have to take home and cook? But being a business person, I walked in and I just saw this building, and it was fresh and clean, and a few people working. Thought to myself, no ovens, no fryers, kind of a small footprint for a store. I'm like, wow, this is an interesting business concept. I'd like to see how this works. And took the pizza home and opened a bottle of wine with my wife. And I'm like, hey, this Papa Murphy's thing is kind of an interesting little mode as the pizza was cooking. And pizza comes out and goes onto the table. And I'm like, this is a good pizza. Holy cow. Great business marketing. We should consider this someday, And we laughed and blew that off. And he even said to my kids, you guys should consider working at Papa Murphy's, when you're looking for a job. It'd be a great place to work, great way to learn a business. So then fast forward to, COVID and shutting down the oil field, and things just stopped. I was actually sitting and having lunch with my daughter, and she goes, what are you going to do, Dad? I'm like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't know that I want to, tackle the oil field again and start over. And she goes, Dad, you've always said Papa Murphy's was a great pizza. You always said it was a great business model. I'm like, oh. And I called an owner that day. We met for beers to talk about what Papa Murphy's is and why it's a quality product and what makes it successful. And I bought in. I just said, this is a great product. It's a good business model. It's healthy. It's good food. So that's kind of how we fell into it, how the background came to where we are now, present.
Nice. I think that's awesome. So you've been with Papa Murphy's for how long now?
Coming up on 3 years.
3 years.
3
Okay.
years.
And, I think it's great. You obviously saw some value in becoming part of our chamber family. And tell us a little bit about that. Like, not everybody, and especially sometimes like in your industry, it's kind of hit and miss with chamber membership. What kind of value did you see in the benefit that you saw?
Pleasantly surprised. I had no idea, and I would have. So I have a Papa Murphy store in Lincoln, Nebraska, and when I decided to come to Kearney because I thought so much of Kearney, and what I saw in Kearney ahead of time, which now makes sense, was I did my homework and visited with a number of people. I didn't think to come to the chamber, which is something I would have done my first trip to Kearney had I known that. And in visiting with just people that know Kearney, grew up in Kearney, went to school in Kearney, whatever it would be, they just spoke so highly, and everybody talked about growth. Everybody talked about there's just a vision for the community. And so then when I came, I'm like, I come in right up the street. I'm like, oh, there's the chamber. I'm like, oh, I wonder what that has to offer. So hopped online real quick and really just kind of scanned it and said, I think there's a lot to be had there. Interesting. But you come in, and once you start, whether you sit in your lobby, whether you're sitting here, you see that there's a lot of forethought into where Kearney's going, what their plan is, growing healthy community, families. This is a place where people want to raise families. This is where people want to work. And so I immediately saw that there was a lot of forethought. There's a lot of people. It's not just going one direction or going another direction or how can we grow. No, there's a plan on how this community is growing, and the chamber has it all. They hold where this place is going. They hold this community. So as a business owner, you just walk right in and go, there's a lot to offer. And then when you help with a ribbon cutting, when you help, hey, you need to meet other owners, you need to be a part of the community, you guys hold all those cards, which is awesome. I wish I'd have known that earlier.
Yeah, we're the most powerful, powerless organization in the world. The Chamber of Commerce.
I hope your influence is for the better of the world.
Yeah, well, we try to be a big advocate. Obviously, we'll be, for all of our members. We love them all. And so it's great. And I think our community really values businesses that invest in the chamber and say, okay, hey, that builds some credibility with businesses. We've seen that happen. And so, you're gonna do great. So I'm excited that you're part of it. Well, as we have fast forwarded through kind of Chris's timeline, that's one of our sponsors.
That's right.
And Dusty over there. So thanks to Fast Forward for sponsoring our chamber chatter. And we're gonna go to his commercial. And when we come back, I'm gonna ask Chris and Riley what their favorite pizza is.
Oh man.
Electric utilities use Fast Forward to reduce power outages and wildfires with vehicle-mounted camera technology. Their technology can inspect over 5,000 poles a day, helping utilities implement without increasing rates to the consumer.
Fast Forward.
Thanks to Dusty over there and Fast Forward. Appreciate you guys. So, all right, I gave you a few seconds to tell me your favorite pizza. So, Riley, you get to go first. I gotta hear your favorite pizza.
I kind of a Supreme. I like Supreme pizza.
Same. Chris, what's your favorite slice?
It evolves. And so, interestingly enough, anybody that works for me, we have a pizza oven in the back, and so the employees can make pizzas anytime they want. And so they're always making something. Some of them are right off the menu. Some of them are their own creations. And so I always make a point to try whatever the guys are cooking because I'm curious.
I love it.
And grab one slice, start to eat it. Greek pepperoni is that's my top of the list right now. In my life, would I never, ever order a Greek pepperoni if I walked into a restaurant or a Papa Murphy's.
Right.
Pepperoni has feta cheese, spinach, tomatoes, olives, and I do not like feta cheese generally. Our feta cheese is really fine. It's not clumpy, and so it tastes completely different. And without knowing even what was completely on the pizza, I took the first bite, and I'm like, this is my new favorite piece of pizza. And so I do a lot of Greek pepperoni. Couple other ones that are way up there that are always vying for a top spot. A weird Thai chicken. It's a spicy chicken pizza. Would never order that. Great one. We have a few pizzas out there that are unique and pretty solid, but like a Greek pepperoni, go for it. And the Supreme that you guys are liking, that would be our cowboy pizza.
Yeah. Yep.
Nice.
A little of everything.
And now as we talk, what better way to try something new than Taste Carney Restaurant Week.
Ooh, hey. I mean, Taste Carney, that's kind of the goal, right? We want
Right.
special menu items, some new things.
Yeah.
So, yeah, maybe there's a creation
Mm-hmm.
at Papa Murphy's that will, somebody can venture in. And maybe it's a homegrown creation, right?
There you go.
So,
And we did pizza tastings all throughout through the ribbon cutting and
Yeah.
grand opening, and a number of people come in and we have different pizzas on the table, and it's like, oh yeah, I really don't like white pizza sauce, really don't like chicken, veg, whatever. I'm like, just try it, it's free, just take a small slice, and it's amazing the number of people that are like, wow, that's a really good pizza, and you just have to try it. I mean, I would never generally try a white pizza sauce or a chicken, and again, one of my favorites.
nice.
Yep.
Yeah. So, come in for that week, but try it all.
Yeah, why not? I mean,
You can also do half and halves, and my staff hates to hear this. You can also do thirds. You can also do quarters. You can,
super customized.
yeah, you
Wow.
can really.
I didn't
try-
realize that. That's
try
good.
a little of everything.
Man.
Meet the needs of my kids because
Yeah.
they're picky. Well, and I typically will like Supreme. My kids are cheese, and
It makes me laugh because we were just at an event that had pizza, and your kids rolled up, and they were like, "What kind is it?" You're like, "Cheese," and then they're picking the pepperonis off. It was hilarious.
it's cheese pizza just with pepperoni. I mean, it's all
Cheese
deal.
pizza.
He was just. I was laughing in the corner because he's like, "It's cheese. Just eat it. It's cheese."
They did gobble down that pizza that they were hungry. They had just got back from swimming, and we were at a business outdoors event. I'm like, hey, there's leftover pizza. When you get done swimming, I'll cook.
Perfect.
So, yep, everybody likes pizza.
Yep.
Well, cool. I got one more question, then we'll close up here. What's been like your favorite thing in the last 3 years, besides the ribbon cutting? But what's been your favorite thing about being involved in Papa Murphy's, and is it a value of the company? Is it a moment that one of the customers came in? Did you have your 100th pizza sold, or what's been your favorite moment?
Yeah, you start right out. You're kind of drinking from a fire hose at the beginning. Just getting a handle on everything, and really, becoming an expert in every kind of way that you can, business wise. But I found myself, escaping to the lobby more than I thought I would, especially when it's busy. And it's one of the funnest things is to visit with customers in the lobby. They come in, and it doesn't take much to break ice because we're waiting for a pizza. And to get to know the customers, that was something that caught me off guard, how much I really enjoy being up front, just talking pizza or talking community, talking Husker game, talking, whatever it would be. That's the thing that I've enjoyed the most. And so then it's also getting into the community. And one of the things which some of the people in Kearney know, and more people will find out coming up, that really our biggest marketing, our biggest way to get into the community and get people to try our pizza is I go to businesses, and I'll walk in the front door and I'll say, hey, my name's Chris, and I own Papa Murphy's, and today I'm just giving away pizzas. And if I can give everybody here a pizza, that'd be great. Is that all right? Generally they get pretty excited, and I'm like, well, how many people work here? 10, 20, 30, 40. Perfect. And give them a pizza, and then you get to stand at the counter, you get to talk pizza, you get to talk about community, people are excited, whatever the conversation comes up. So that's been something that I also kind of caught me off guard, how much you can't have a bad day giving away a couple hundred pizzas.
No. And I love that answer, Chris, because as an owner, first of all, being out front is awesome. And I always feel like the Kearney area and our chamber members do an excellent job at customer service, and that's what that is, right? We pride ourselves. I think that's a competitive advantage of Kearney area businesses is our customer service. And that's what that is, right? I mean, you are just, serving the customer in the best way, making them feel comfortable, getting to know them, building relationships. Guess what? They probably return then, right? When it's like, hey, that was Chris. He owns this place, and, we talked, and now I'm going to come back and see him again, right? And I think that's awesome, seeing those friendly faces and just having, real conversations. I think that's awesome. So great answer.
And the managers, employees, they see me do that, and then every once in a while, you'll see them start doing it, and then pretty soon they get to know the customers, and then pretty soon they get to know the customers by name, I haven't seen you in a couple of weeks. Where you've been? Oh, well, my granddaughter, this, whatever the situation would be. And then you get to be a part of their lives a little bit. And
Perfect.
That's a treat.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Chris, thank you so much, Papa Murphy's, and UNK Athletics. Fast Forward, thanks for sponsoring our Chamber Chatter. Kudos to you guys. Kudos to Riley for always getting us organized and setting up. It takes about 30 minutes to set up our podcast here, and we cannot wait to be in our new building. So, Chris, in our new building, we're actually going to have a podcast room,
A booth.
So we'll have a little media room, and we'll have a permanent kind of podcast set up, and we don't have to go through 30 minutes of prep. And when I say we, I mean Riley.
Just flip the switch.
Yeah, flip the switch, and our chamber members, they're more than happy. We'd love to train them, and they could come do a podcast of their own if they wanted to.
Yep.
Riley's an expert in that. He had Make a Move podcast before he started the chamber, and we've got Chamber Chatter under that umbrella, and it's worked out great. So can't wait for that. Obviously looking forward, very excited about our new building, but that media room is going to be really cool for our chamber members and us to utilize. So can't wait for that. But thanks again, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Hey, Riley here. Thanks for listening to this episode of the Make a Move podcast. For more content, check us out on all major social media platforms. Until next time, get off your butt and make a move.